MatOrtho is a UK-based joint replacement devices innovator that operates globally. Team MatOrtho have been an innovating entity for the whole modern era, 40 years of joint replacement technology, and have been behind some of the most defining principles in modern hip and knee replacement surgery in common use today.
MatOrtho is a company which is within the orthopaedic field of joint replacement, all the way through design, development, regulatory, to manufacturing, of course, most of which is done here in the UK, to rolling that through to all the processes that are needed in a device: cleaning, packing, sterilising, stocking, shipping, selling, marketing, of course, to the world of patients. And so we are a full service provider.
These capabilities have been used in the past by a number of other manufacturers, including the very large multinationals. MatOrtho's key driver is that all patients should be able to access technologies that lead to better outcomes. Within this philosophy, MatOrtho's services are always available to other companies.
Patients, surgeons and hospitals each perhaps have a slightly different remit in what they're looking for from a company like MatOrtho. And so we have to try and address all. But for us, the main customer is the patient. There's an element whereby I think the patients have a right to know what implant they receive. They have a right to research and go and find what they want. And there are different devices out there. There are elements of the system which makes the assumption that most knees work pretty well the same and most hips work pretty well the same, so you might as well just let somebody else choose. But that's not true. There are differences.
So implant choice is obviously key, and we look for certain things. I mean, first and foremost, I look for an implant that's tried and tested and has a good pedigree. And unlike the hip, which is a simple ball and socket, the knee has some rotating function, but also has a hinge-like function. And to try and balance those two is quite difficult. And then you need to think more specifically about patient-related factors. What kind of activity level the patient is expecting to get out of the implant at the end. I personally believe that an implant that more closely replicates the natural kinematics of a native knee joint is more likely to give you a group of happy patients post-joint replacement, which is the reason I use my particular knee replacement design. It rotates medially, which, as far as we understand, replicates the function of a normal native knee joint and has more movement laterally. And certainly in my experience, that has produced a happier group of patients.
Over the years, MatOrtho's key strength has been its focus and ability for true innovation. This has always been with the patient experience in focus. For MatOrtho, innovation doesn't only mean finding ways to use the latest technology, although there are routes whereby this does work. Innovation can also apply to key principles that have been in use for some time on a small scale, and so are yet to be revealed.
Medical innovation, particularly in our field, in joint replacement, really is important for patients, because it is patients who need better implants. Outcomes can be measured rather bluntly by how long patients retain their devices before they need another operation. But the real remit for patients is to get back to a normal life. Hips are getting closer to that, but knees have got a bit of way to go. We think we've made some big advances for knees, but there's more work to be done.
MatOrtho's total knee replacement products are designed on its long-standing innovative design principles that have been shown to provide leading data in terms of fewer post-operative complications, but also a more normal return to active daily living for patients.
Patients are us. It is all of us. We make a mistake if we forget that we're treating some other being. And so it makes it quite easy to think, well, what would I need? So there's elements of innovation which we need to bring to the world to recognise that what patients need is actually a lifetime view. For us at MatOrtho, it's a difficult remit to actually come to terms with what patients really need. If we look at ourselves and look at it selfishly, we want something which will get us back to how we used to be, and will keep us that way, because that way we live longer.
A key focus for MatOrtho is to get the message out for this kind of innovation to benefit patients and surgeons alike.